Okay, I have a brand new tutorial for you. Now remember, I am part of the Demo Design Dream Team. There are 16 of us demonstrators, okay? And we get together and collaborate every month and come up with a project. And this is the August tutorial. So there are 16 cards in this tutorial, and it's absolutely free to you when you purchase $35 in my online store, okay? And my project's in here, and I'll give you a little hint. It's right down here at the bottom. And the theme for this month is summer cards, and it's all current product, the product that just came out in the new catalog in June, okay? So this is free to you. Once I receive the online order, then I go ahead and I send you the file, okay? Within 24 hours usually. Now, of course, when you do spend $35 in my store, you will earn a bee. And when you've earned 10 bees, you'll receive $35 in free product, okay? And I usually remind you at the end of the month, I send an email letting you know your status with your card. And you're responsible for the shipping and the tax, which sometimes I just forget to tell you all that. But $35 in free product, but you are responsible for the shipping and the tax on the product, okay? So that's what's going on in the online store. And by the way, it's got a facelift today. It looks brand new. So if you get a chance, head over there and take a look. And if you are, if you do want to place an order this evening with me, this is the hostess code, okay? And the online store looks awesome. I am still getting used to it, and once I feel comfortable with it, I may do a tutorial with you all, okay? But I'm not quite ready for that yet. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to go over shares because the deadline for shares is this Sunday, August 9th, okay? Now, I am offering a holiday share box, and it features the ribbon and the designer paper in this catalog, okay? And so the deadline again to order is this Sunday, August 9th. And the shares will begin shipping to my online customers the week of September 7th. Now, the reason it's a month from now is because it takes me a long time to wrap ribbon and it takes me a long time to cut paper. Okay, it's very time consuming, but they should be ready to ship on this day. Now, let me show you the ribbon, okay? There is tons of ribbon in this catalog, okay? I think probably the most we've ever had. And so there are actually 32.5 yards of ribbon in this ribbon share. Now, if you're a demonstrator and you don't like to buy every ribbon in the catalog, this is a great opportunity for you to purchase the share. And I have lots of demonstrators who do that, okay? So 32.5 yards, it's 78 cents a yard. You cannot beat that. So let me show you what you get. You've got labels for each ribbon with the item number. That way, if you run out of ribbon, then you know that that's one of your favorites. So maybe you want to order a whole roll, okay? So these two ribbons up top are a combo. Again, 2.5 yards of each ribbon, and then this ribbon is on its own card, and you actually get 5 yards of gold cording, okay? So that's what the ribbon looks like, and then the cording is 5 yards. Now this is also part of the share, and so you've got these ribbons here, and they're labeled with item numbers as well. They do come in the acetate card boxes. They come wrapped on the card. They come with labels and item numbers. So it's an awesome deal. It's an excellent way to get a sampling of every single ribbon in the catalog. All right. So let me know if you have any questions about that. And I'm going to pull out the paper share. Okay. So let me show you that. This will come in a white box. It'll have a beautiful label on top with the year on it. This probably measures about 8 by 8, the box, and it's great for storing the paper, okay? You already have a storage system right here, okay? Now, with the paper, you get 206 sheets, okay? So I'm gonna dig it out here, and it also includes all the specialty papers. Now, one unique thing you're gonna find with my paper shares, and I don't know if other demonstrators do this, but for each package of paper, I create a divider for you. It's got the title of the paper, item number and price, where you can find it in the book, how many sheets come in a full package, and coordinating colors, okay? And then, of course, you know, they're all cut 6 by 6. Then it goes into poinsettia place. The papers and the specialty papers, they're in order like they are in the catalog. They're not just thrown in the box. And you'll get 2 of 6 by 6, 2 of the same design, double-sided design. That's what I'm trying to say. So you get 2 of each one. All right, that's in each paper pack. Now, when I say specialty paper, I'm talking about the foil paper. I'm talking about felt, which I'm super excited about the felt. I'm talking about vellum. Gosh, what else? Just red velvet sheets are here in the very back. So again, it's all cut for you. The dividers are printed and they are put in the paper pack for you already in order of the catalog. And it's 206 sheets, which makes it about 35 cents per sheet. And so the total is $71.50. Now, you can purchase the share separately. You can purchase just the designer paper share or just the ribbon share, or you can purchase both for $97 plus shipping. Now, I ship priority mail. It takes you 2 to 3 days to receive it, so it's quick. And it's also insured, and you'll get tracking information. Now, the shipping is probably going to run you between $8 and $9. I should say between $7 and $9. It really depends upon where it's shipping to, all right? So, you know, I have a lot of people ask me, why do a share? And it's simply, it's a sampling of ribbon and paper of the entire catalog. You've got reference dividers for each paper pack. It's a great way to store your paper in a box. And you get labels with name and item numbers for easy ordering. And it's a great way to get a sampling of everything in the mini, all right? So if you're interested, you can message me here on Facebook and I'll send you the PayPal invoice. You can email me at tammy@bcreativestamping.com. And it's also on my blog where you can actually purchase using the PayPal button, okay? So just wanted to let you know about that. Any questions about the shares? Just remember the deadline is Sunday, August 9th, okay? All right, so I think I've done all the announcements and now we're getting ready to have some fun and I'm gonna be giving away 3 of these tonight. So that means we're making 3, all right? Hi Tracy, welcome, thanks for sharing. And by the way, if you're new and you're just popping on, tell us where you're from, say hello to us so that your name is in the drawing tonight to win one of these little treats, all right? And then I even have a special prize too. Okay, so this is what we're making this evening. We're gonna make 3 of them, not 4, okay? And the first little treat bundle that we make, or the treat box, is just going to be, you know, it's not embossed with the big shot, okay? It's just a plain cardstock, not embossed with an embossing folder. Now, the second one we make tonight, I'm gonna show you how to use an embossing folder. And for some reason with black, it is so hard to see that dry embossed image on the paper. All right, so I'm going to show you how to use your embossing folder to, you know, so you can use it with your treats. And then I'm going to show you how to make one without the top. So see how this one has a top and this one doesn't. I cut it off. And so I'm going to show you how to do that too. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. All right. Well, if you have your mini, hi, Gail. If you have your mini with you, you might want to pull it out, okay? I'm going to move these to the side. And I'm going to show you just a few quick things about the mini catalog, all right? Just very quick. I'm not going to do a tour tonight, but I wanted to show you these icons, and it's on page 2. Now, if you are currently not working with a demonstrator and you would love a mini catalog, just message me and I'll pop one in the mail for you, okay? I'd love to do that. All right. So this little clock right here, have you noticed this little clock on some of the products? All right, let me see if I can find one. Let's see. I should have done this ahead of time. So I'm trying to find a clock. Let's see. Okay, you see this right here? You see the clock that's on this card? This clock is telling you that this is super easy to make and it's not going to take you very long at all, okay? So that's what the clock image indicates, okay? Thank you, Joanne. I'm glad you like them. All right, you see this little image? It's the Stamp and Cut Emboss Machine image, and it says Mini on it. And that means you can use the Mini machine to cut these out, okay? To use with these dies. So I wanted you to be familiar with those two icons, the clock and then the little mini emboss machine. Now the 10% up here is you save 10% when you bundle the stamp set with the dies or punch, okay? Now we're gonna move over to page 70. Let's go back to, I was gonna start on 77, but let's go back to 72, okay? So I love this, and we have this in the annual book too. Starting on page 72, it shows you every bundle that's in the mini. And what's nice about that is, let's say that you're having a private class and your sales have reached $450. Well, that means you've earned a half off product. And so this is when you want to look at the bundles and you want to pick the most expensive bundle and get that half off, okay? So this is a great resource, all right? You can also see which bundles have dies and which bundles have punches, okay? So that continues through page 76. Now on 77, you'll get a glance at every single stamp set that's in this catalog, just in the mini, okay? Yes, Carol, and I do have a mini for you. I absolutely do. Let's see. So these are just all the stamp sets that are included in the mini, okay? Now, let's flip on over to 78, and this is going to show you every punch that's in the mini catalog. And it also shows you our new card display. It is a killer, Kathy. It really is. Now, this card display is pretty darn cute. So I'm going to have to be showing you all that as well. Hello, Hope. Nice to have you tonight. Now, on page 78, you're going to see dies. So these 3 rows are all the dies that are included in the mini. All right. And then move down just another row, and these are the 4 new embossing folders. And we also have 5 kits in this mini. I mean, this mini is packed. Now we've got all our ribbon and trim on the very bottom row. And then we've got accents and embellishments, okay, right along here. And then we have packaging. This is all our packaging, and we have some super fun packaging this year in the mini, okay? All right, hi Laura, welcome. All right, designer paper. We're at the bottom of page 79. Hopefully I didn't zoom in too much. And now you're going to see all of our designer papers, okay? And then over here, these are all the specialty papers, all right? So this is just a super quick reference. For example, if you can't remember the name of a stamp set, and that happens to me quite often, you can go back to this index and look at the stamp sets, and you'll probably recognize one of the images in it, all right? Hi, Mary Kay, welcome. All right, so now we're gonna go to page 70, all right? And this is where we're going to be this evening, all right? This is called the Little Treats Bundle. And when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. Now this bundle retails for $53. I haven't looked lately, but it's probably one of the more expensive bundles in this catalog. And so this was my half price, okay? So, you know, if you've got a private class coming up, if you're going to be a hostess club, you know, if you're going to be the hostess for Hostess Club, this is a great item to get half off. And if you want to schedule a private class, we can do that, and I can do it online. So it doesn't even matter where you live in the U.S., okay? We can do that. All right, so it does come with this darling little stamp set, all right? And so I'm going to show you what the stamp set looks like. And I'm going to zoom out. I'm sorry, I'm always playing with the camera here. There we go. All right, so this is the Little Treat stamp set. And we've got this really fun banner right here. Oh, good, Laura. Laura is a demonstrator. She's actually on my team, and she got it half off. That's so cool. We've got awesome greetings, birthday wishes for you today. You'll see all the different ones. Darling images, okay? Look at the ornaments. And then this floral image. Oh, and look at that cute spider. And then you have a to and from, okay? So let me show you what it looks like, or let you see what the dies look like, okay? All right, so let me grab those. These are the dies, all right? So it's this piece right here that actually cuts the box, okay? And so I'm gonna show you how to use that this evening, all right? Super easy. Now I'm going to show you what these dies can do. And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more. All right, great, okay. So this die right here, hang tight, is right here, okay? And I turned it sideways. See that little hole that gets cut out for your string? And it says to and from. And look at this. You can also turn that tag this way and put to and from. All right, so you've got options there. This is the same die right here. And it fits Happy, Happy Halloween. It fits Thank You for Coming, and especially for you. Now we have another die right here, okay? And it's got this scalloped edge on both sides. And when you cut this one out, this is what it looks like, okay? And birthday wishes for you today fits there. And Ho Ho Merry Christmas will also fit on it. And look at the ornaments. That ornament stamped image fits perfectly. And I want to show you another two dies here. Let's go back to the ornaments. This is hard to pick up. So you see these three ornaments, they cut out separately. And when you cut them out, you can pop them up on the tag. So that's what I did. I inked and shaded spruce, and then I popped up the ornaments with real red cardstock. Now I did the opposite with this one, okay? I inked the stamp in real red, and then I cut out two ornaments in shaded spruce, and I popped up those two ornaments, on top, okay? So you can do that too as a tag. So Debbie's got a great question. Debbie wants to know the measurement of the Santa hat. And you know what, Debbie? We can talk about Santa right now. So this is the darling little Santa hat. And here is the die that cuts it out, okay? So Debbie, let's measure the Santa hat. I would say the width, including the pom-pom at the top of the hat, is gonna measure about 1 inch wide. And then let's see how tall it is. I say 1 inch, so 1 by 1 inch by 1 inch is your Santa's hat, okay? Hi Debbie, welcome. Now the present, I think the present's a little taller, it is. So the present is measuring about 1 1/8, okay? And it's probably about 1 inch wide, yeah. So there's the present, and look, there's even a die to cut out a ring. All right, so you've got a ring, a gift, and Santa's hat. You also get a die to cut out the spider. Isn't he cute? And ladies, this is my favorite die. It's the scallop circle with the stitching. And look what fits on here, especially for you. A little treat for someone sweet. Happy Halloween will also fit on here perfectly. And then these pieces here that you stamp and cut out, they'll all fit in this circle. So these are just some options for you. And if you all want, you can take a screenshot of that to kind of give you some ideas. You might be wondering, why is there a ring? Because this seems like a holiday set. And so I do want to go back to the picture. Do you see this little favor? It has a ring that's cut out with gold foil. And so this would be a great bridal shower gift, bridal favor, okay? And it says, thank you for coming. You can also take the front part of the box and mount that on a card. So there are some awesome ideas here in on this page, on page 70. All right, look at the cute little candy. The items that are shaded, these are the items that you can cut out with the dies. Okay, you've got the ring here. You can stamp it, but the ring die, I don't believe you'll use. No, you won't. See how much bigger the die is than the stamped image? So the die is on its own, but you also have the ring that you can stamp, okay? So, and the same with the spider, by the way. You can stamp the spider or you can cut out a spider, and look at the size difference, okay? So they were not meant to go together. I know, Laura, wouldn't they be awesome wedding favors? Oh my gosh, I could see us making some of those, absolutely. All right, so that's the scoop on the Little Treats bundle, okay? And so we're gonna do a Halloween and a Christmas and like a birthday one, all right? So I'm gonna move these things out of the way. Did everyone get a chance to do a screenshot if they want one for different ideas? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut one of the boxes, okay? And so I'm actually going to cut the one with the basic black paper. So this is the Halloween treat box that I'm cutting, okay? And I'm actually gonna use this, all right? And of course, I'm gonna need my Big Shot. So I'm gonna bring this over and I'm gonna turn the handle towards me. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll this away. Now, on Thursday night, come back at 7:30 and we're gonna use the new Stamp and Cut Emboss machine, okay? Maybe we'll cut another one of these out then. All right, so by the way, your paper, it's pretty much the size of a card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, okay? And that will fit this die perfectly. Hi, Linda, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right, so I've got this one centered on here. And if you wanted to make your cardstock 5 3/4 or 6 inches wide, you can do that. But the 5 1/2 works fine. I'm going to put the cutting plate on top, and now I'm going to roll this through. Sorry for all the shaking. Okay, there we go. All right, and so now we're going to take this off. We'll get rid of that. And we have our treat box. Now here you're going to find there's little pieces of paper for you to pop out, okay? So you'll need to do that, and some may even get stuck in the die, all right? Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. We are going to use the Big Shot again in just a little bit. Okay. All right, so we've cut this one out. This is for our Halloween treat, okay? But I'm gonna set this one aside. We're gonna come back to it, okay? And you'll see why. I'm gonna teach you how to emboss this, okay? And we'll do that in the next project. Okay, so let me get my little kit. We're actually going to start with this one. Now, I used shaded spruce cardstock, okay, for the box. And then I've used real red cardstock for the scallop circle, and then Whisper White. And then there's my little Santa's hat. This ribbon is part of the ribbon share, okay? So you get 2.5 yards of this one. By the way, this is awesome ribbon. I love the real red sheer ribbon. And here's the gold cording. You get 5 yards of that in the share. Hi, Lee, welcome. Okay, so I've already taken the time, all right, to cut this one, okay? All right, and as you can see, there actually are some little green pieces that need popping out, so I'm gonna do that. So I love this shaded spruce at Christmas. Another wonderful green for you to use would be garden green, okay, or old olive. So we've got lots of choices when it comes to our greens, okay. All right, so it's cut, and you're gonna notice some score lines, all right. And if you can't see them, I'm gonna fold them so you can, okay. All right, so that's 2 of those. And again, that's all you do. You just fold all your score lines, okay, to assemble your box. I can't tell you how easy this is to do. Hi, Amanda. It has been a while. So glad you're here tonight. All right, now here comes the fun. These sides are going to go up, okay, and they're going to click into place. And look at that little tab, and look at the slot. So the only thing you do is, okay, that tab fits in that slot, and that's it, okay? And now we're gonna do this one. It's the very same thing on the other side, okay? So now that part of the box is done, okay? And so now you can see about how much space is in the box. And so this is where we're gonna talk about some candy, okay? Some things that I found that work. I will tell you this, you know how I love Bath and Body products. The Bath and Body hand sanitizer, the bottle's a little bit too wide for this, okay? So it kind of bulges, all right? So, I mean, it's a possibility, but it bulges a little bit, okay? But I did find that these 2 Ghirardelli chocolates fit perfectly in here. So I'm going to show you these. Okay. So these will fit perfectly inside. And you can get 2 of those in. All right. And look how beautiful that just stands up. I mean, it's just super easy. All right. So that's that one. And you know what? Maybe I'll leave it. I think I'll leave it in there. How about that? Okay. All right. So that's that one. Actually, I am going to take it out because I'm going to show you some more candies. All right. These are really festive. These are the smaller Ghirardelli chocolates. And you can pretty much get 3 of these in here. Okay. So 3 of the little minis will fit just fine, okay? I really like those in there. Now, this is a bear. This is the Lindt chocolate, L-I-N-D-T. I know chocolate is always better, Linda, you're right. This precious little bear does fit in here. Now, he's got plenty of space, so you know, I think if he had a partner, you might get them both in there, but he fits in there just fine. He just may wiggle around a little bit. Now, as we get closer to the holidays, which I don't even want to think about, they also have the Lindt chocolates. They've got the elves, and I think they have Santas and maybe some polar bears. And so those will be some other options for you too, okay? But isn't that just cute? All right, now nuggets. Yes, nuggets fit, and you can actually get 2 nuggets in here. And these are the Hershey nugget bars, okay? So those will work. And then last but not least, Candy Kisses. All right, so I think you can get 6 in here without any problem. All right, I think I have one more. Maybe I already have 6 in there. All right, I think that's actually 5. I don't know where number 6 is. All right, but Candy Kisses. These are the Santa hats, and as we get closer to the holidays, they'll have the elf hats, okay? So keep that in mind too. And especially with Halloween, the Halloween kisses, all that kind of stuff too, all right? So that's what works in there. I think I'll use these. I'm gonna put the little minis here, all right? And as you can see, you really don't need any tape. Now, if you wanna make it secure, you can certainly add a little tape here to keep it closed, okay? But I don't think it's necessary. All right. So one other thing, which I always forget to do, so I'm gonna undo it. It's best to embellish your box while it's flat, all right? So let's do the embellishing. And we're going to start with this real red scallop. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I love the stitched scallop. All right, and we're just adding some Stampin' Seal. And I'm gonna put it about right here. Now, the reason I'm putting this towards the bottom of the score line, and I'm gonna zoom in a little here. The reason I'm putting it towards the bottom is so that I have room for the hat, okay? All right, and now I've already taken the time to cut one of these, all right? Mary Kay says the Santa hat kisses is really cute with the Santa hat. Oh my gosh, yes, you are so right. That's what we'll put in the box. You're so right, Mary Kay. I mean, how perfect, right? All right, so I'm gonna get my ink out here, and I'm going to need my hat. And did I bring the words over? I always forget something. I'm not seeing the words for my, hang on one second. Let me look in my stamp case. Do I have it in here? I do. Awesome. Okay, sorry ladies, I gotta grab the stamp. So I'm gonna flip this over to the other end. That gives me my putty knife. And then I am gonna lift under that sticker and pull that off. All right. And so now I've got the stamp that I need. And now we're gonna do this again. I like to use my putty knife, and I like to kind of lift under that sticker that's on the stamp set, and then pull it off. And I'm gonna catty corner that. And then let's stamp this in Shaded Spruce. Yes, it is real red. You are right, Laura. I am using the new adhesive. Yes, Lee, and I do like it. And the next time I pull it out, which will be in a few minutes, I'll give you a couple of tips on it, okay? But I do like it. All right, and I'm just gonna stamp this right in the center. Now, of course, if you're at home, you might want to stamp your sentiment on Whisper White cardstock and then cut it out, and that'll be fine. I tend to do this because I like to save us a little bit of time, and that's one place where I can do it. All right, so we're gonna use some dimensionals, and I'm actually gonna put the dimensionals towards the center of this, all right? And I'll show you why. All right, so I'm just gonna center this. I think right there will do. Okay, so the reason my dimensionals went in the center is because if I put my dimensional way out here, it might be hanging off the paper. And so that's why I like to get those dimensionals up in there in the middle. All right. Now we've got our little Santa hat. And I love the Santa hat, super cute. We also sell the Jingle Bells this year, and I couldn't find my Jingle Bells. Hang on one second. Remember, I switched blocks. So now I'm gonna switch back. All right, so hang tight. Let me get this clean. This is the simple chamois. I'm now done with that, and I can put this back in the stamp case. And let's see, I'll put it about right there. Okay. Okay, so now back to Santa's hat. The Jingle Bells that we sell, one of the embellishments this year, that Jingle Bell would be so cute on the end of that little pom-pom. And I couldn't put my hands on mine today. All right, so that right there is Santa's hat. And we have a die to cut that out. And then when it's cut out, voila, that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna put a dimensional on the back of this. Let's see, what did I do with dimensionals? And we'll put it about right there. And now we're gonna put this on here, and I'll put it about right there. Okay? So that's our little hat. Now I'm gonna go back and reassemble just by sliding the tabs in, okay? And they really do cooperate nicely. Mary Kay is right. We should definitely have Santa hats in here to go with the Santa hat on the front of the treat. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, and I have 5 kisses, and I think you could get 6 in here with no problem. All right, so now does it want to pop open? I'll show you a trick if it wants to pop open. All right. Aha, it wants to pop open because of the amount of chocolate I have in here. All right, that might stay now. I'm going to show you one thing you can do, okay? If you take a little bit, oh, I could have used my new Stamp and Seal Plus. If you take a little bit of tear and tape, okay, just run it across here to hold that in place. And we're just doing the one side. I'm gonna flip this around. Did y'all know that this flips around? Did you know that? All right, and now, whoops, I'm trying to get under the paper, but not the adhesive. So let's see here. There we go. And now that will hold this in place, okay? So if you're worried about that, you can use a little piece of tear and tape, all right? And that'll take care of it. Well, now we're ready for our ribbon. And if you decide to participate in my ribbon share, you'll get 2.5 yards of this ribbon. All right. And this just slides right on through like this. Okay, and see, we're leaving that front flap open. We didn't put tape over here, okay, so that we can open it up. All right. And so there we go. We've got that ribbon there. Let's see something here. Okay, now I've got it right. Hang tight. Now this is the hardest part, okay? We're gonna tie some gold cording. If I get this through here, we're gonna take some gold cording. All right, let me leave that there. Let's get the gold cording. Now remember, with the gold cording and the ribbon share, you get 5 yards of this, and I love this stuff. Thank you, Hope. I'm so glad you like it. Yeah, Gail. So we've got the putty knife on one end, and then the, what do you call it? The pick on the other, I guess. I don't know what to call it right now. All right, so here we go. All right, we're gonna tie this. All right, you need about 6 hands to do it. And I have wrapped the gold cording around the back of this, okay? All right, sometimes I'll yell and I'll ask either my husband or one of the girls to come hold this to help me. So hang on, let's see here. We're gonna get it. All right, let me slide that down some more. There we go. All right, just tie a really tight knot, okay, and try and straighten it up if you can. All right, so I got that done. Of course, I don't have much over here as far as making a bow, though. All right, and I'm just tying a bow like I would on my shoe. All right, so nothing special about that. All right, there we go, and now I'm gonna trim. All right, and then I'm gonna trim these. I don't want them too long, and I'm gonna cut on the diagonal, just like that, and we're done. What do you think? Is that easy? What do you think? All right, now I am gonna mail this to someone, but it will not have candy in it because this is last year's candy and I just use it for my displays, okay? So you don't want it. But I will mail this to you and I will mail it flat, okay? But yeah, so someone gets to win that and take it home. But that is our very first one, all right? All right, now number 2, these get easy to do. This is the basic black. Remember when we cut this? Let me grab a sip of water. Okay. Oh my gosh, Joanne, I never thought of that. Joanne says, use a clothespin to hold the ribbon in place. Oh my gosh, never thought of that. Gosh. Okay. I'm so glad everybody likes it. It's really super fun. All right, I'm gonna teach you now how to emboss your treat holder, okay? Now, we have a brand new embossing folder, and it is called Cobwebs 3D Embossing Folder. It is a 3D folder, which means it's going to have a very deep, realistic impression, and this is what it looks like. So if you look at the drawing, you've got like 4 webs here, okay? So I'm gonna move this. Now, I still have the Big Shot, okay? I don't have the new cut and emboss machine yet, okay? So the layers I'm showing you now might be really different on the new machine, okay? Especially when it comes to embossing folders. They get tricky. But for this sandwich, you're going to use your Big Shot platform. Now, if you don't have this one and you have the older platform with tab 1 and tab 2, open it up to tab 1, okay? All right, so now I want to emboss the front of this and the other side of it. So both sides is what I want embossed, okay? And so I'm going to insert this. I want to check on something else. Nope, I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so I'm just embossing. Let's do this. I'm going to fold this over, get that out of the way. So I am going to emboss just this top part. See how I folded up the box part? I'm not doing that. And this little box part, I'm probably gonna also have to fold up. Yep. All right. And then we're gonna lay it here. Now when I lay it on the platform, you see this folded edge of the embossing folder? I want that to go through first, okay? All right, now it looks like I am gonna have to put this towards the middle. So that means I'm gonna fold that back. I have tried to emboss the entire thing, which I think we can do, but what happens is it doesn't emboss the entire thing, okay? And so I'm just really want my flaps embossed, these two things, okay? So I'm just gonna fold these out of the way, and there we go. Okay, so there we go. That's ready to go. And let me move this so you can see that better. Okay, see how these flaps are folded up? Now I'm going to use my 3D embossing folder. Now this has retired, so if you don't have this one, you can use a cutting pad, but you might also need a few sheets of paper. And you just want to make it thick enough so that it rolls through the Big Shot and you get a nice impression. All right, so here we go. I'm rolling this through. Sorry about the shaping. Let's see how our cobweb turned out. Ta-da! There it is, okay? So now guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back and we're gonna do the other side. So now I'm gonna fold this up, and I'm gonna fold this one up, and I'm going to insert this flap, just like that, okay? See how I did that? And then here's my 3D folder, and then we're just gonna roll this through, all right? Now, when we get that new Stamp and Cut emboss machine, okay, the layers are probably going to be totally different. I don't know because I haven't even played with the new machine yet, okay? It's just a guess, but I have a feeling our sandwich is going to be different. So what do you think? We did both sides, all right? So that's that one. And let's see, we'll quickly put this one together. And again, let's embellish it while we have it flat. And this one's going to be super easy for us to do. This is Mango Melody right here. All right, that's the name of that cardstock color, Mango Melody. And then I'm going to use my black tuxedo ink. And then I'm going to stamp Happy, Happy Halloween. Okay. And I'm actually going to pop this up. Are you surprised that I'm popping this up? I know you are. You must be. Okay. Now, if you don't have Mango Melody cardstock, use pumpkin pie. That's another great option for you. All right, Laura says, when can you buy the new Embosser? So our brand new machine, Laura, for a customer, you'll be able to purchase it September 1, okay? As a demonstrator, I was able to pre-order it today, okay? Today was the first day for pre-order, all right? So great question. The new machine will be ready September 1 when you can order, but come back this Thursday night, Laura, at 7:30 to get a sneak peek, okay? Because I'm going to have it here. Okay. Now we're going to use these darling little spiders that I cut out using the die, okay? Now in the sample, I did use, I want to say, it's either, I'm going to get mixed up on my grays, okay? I want to say this is Smoky Slate and this is Gray Granite, but this could be Basic Gray. Don't we still have Basic Gray? All right. So I'm a little fuzzy on my grays, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna add a glue dot at the bottom of the spider, the bottom of his body, and then I'm just gonna put that there, all right? So here, I'll zoom in for you so you can get a closer look. And then this spider, I'll also use a glue dot, and that'll go in the center of his body. All right, so this spider you could use on a lot of different projects. We're gonna lift that up and we're gonna put that one about right there. All right, so that's our two spiders. And then at this point, we're actually ready to put our box together. Again, I'm folding all score lines. Whoops. Okay. So yeah, someone will win this box too. And I'm gonna slide this in, and I'm gonna slide. I know this one's really hard for you to see because it's in basic black. And then I'm gonna use some twine. Now our basic black twine has retired, okay? And it's been retired for quite some time. And so, you know, I really don't have any other options for you there, okay? So check your twine stash because you might have some basic black too, all right? So I've just cut some twine here, and you know, you saw me wrap it around my finger. And what I'm doing is that one's really short. I just made some strings basically. Okay, that's what I've done with that. And I'm gonna weed them right through this first hole if I can. This may prove to be difficult. Okay, so I got that one done. And then I'm gonna go through to this end. Okay, I have to do it like this. I'm gonna put these two holes together. That's gonna be the easiest way for me to thread the twine through here. All right, hang on. Some of them are different lengths, so it's making it harder for me to thread that through. All right, anybody else have any questions about the new machine or about this bundle? All right, y'all, I am just stuffing this through here. All right, there we go. Okay, so I got that through. See that? And I probably should have made that longer. So hopefully this is still gonna work for what I wanna do. I'm gonna this is our Daffodil Delight. All right, and I'm gonna take some of that daffodil, and this is where I need the clothespin, Joanne. What an awesome idea. All right, I don't know how this is gonna turn out, because I think my twine should have been much longer than it was. All right, and then I'm gonna try and get this around here. You all have the idea, right? This is just gonna be a knot. This is not gonna be a bow. All right, please stay in there. Okay, so not too bad, not too shabby. All right, and then I'm gonna just make another knot. So you can do bows or you can do knots. How much twine? Good question. I probably have about 1, 2, 3, about probably 6 pieces, but make your pieces like 6 inches long at least, maybe even longer. Maybe do 8 inches. So if your twine's about 8 inches long and about 6 of them, I think you'll be good and it'll work out. All right, so there is our Halloween one. What do you think? Isn't that fun? It's just so, so cute. I love it. I love 3D stuff anyway. It's just really fun to make. Okay, so now we're gonna work on our last one. And our last one is another different way for you to create this little box, okay? So if you've noticed, this front flap is gone, isn't it? From here up, I cut it off. And I'm gonna show you how I do that, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is, of course, you're gonna cut out your box. Let me pop out these little pieces. All right. Ooh, and these really need popping out. By the way, this cardstock is Coastal Cabana. This would be great for a birthday gift, okay? Because it's nice and bright and cheery. I'm so glad y'all like it. Hey, Chris, how are you? Good to have you tonight. I'm taking a quick sip of water. Okay, so something to keep in mind before you cut this, okay? And I made this mistake on this one, but I kept it because I want to show it to you. So when I created this one, you see how nice and finished this looks, and you see the beautiful stitching. The first one I made, now see if you can see the difference. This one is kind of the back side of it. It's not as pretty. Can you see that? Here is the back side of that one. See how pretty that is on that side? But on this side, it doesn't look quite as nice, okay? So I thought, why not create it so that the nice side is facing you? Because this is gonna get cut off, right? Okay, so this is how you do it. I'm gonna need my Stampin' Trimmer. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in, and the magic number is 1 3/4, okay? That's what you wanna remember. And I want, this is gonna be facing me. See how pretty that is? If I do it this way, if this was facing me, that's not so pretty, is it? So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you can see that difference. So if this is facing me and it's pretty, then I don't want to cut this side. So I'm going to go over here to the opposite side, and you see this score line. Let me zoom in here. Okay, so you see this score line right here. You want to put that on 1 3/4. All right, so hang tight. That right there is 1 3/4, and that is 2 inches. All right, so that score line is going to go on 1 3/4. All right, and then I'm going to trim this off. All right, so I'm trimming off that top part. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so the magic number is 1 3/4. Okay, so for this one, well, again, we do want to go ahead and embellish. Okay, so let's do that first, I think. Actually, you know what? We can just put this one together, and then we'll finish it off. All right, so I'm folding this score line, folding this and this. Get all my score lines folded. And this time, when I bring this up, I'm gonna slide those tabs in, okay? All right, they're in, but now I'm gonna use the tear and tape. You can also use your Stampin' Seal Plus if you want, okay? All right. And then I'm gonna close that, and that's gonna stay like that, okay? Now I'm gonna need to close it on this side too. So let's go over here, and let's get a little bit of tear and tape, and I will put this here, okay? Doesn't have to be straight. You really don't have to measure. It's just to hold the back in place. Okay, and then I'm going to close that. And so now I have my little box. So we're going to use some Calypso Coral. And now I'm going to go back to Stampin' Seal. And I know Lee had a question about Stampin' Seal. So I am going to, there's a frosted area on the top of the applicator, and that's where I rest my fingers. And then I just push across. And I do find that you need to push a little bit harder than what you did with your snail. Okay, so hopefully that is a helpful tip. All right. So our darling little scallop circle is there. Love that circle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the present. I'm actually going to stamp it in both colors. I'm going to stamp it in Coastal Cabana. Okay, so there's the present there. And then we're gonna stamp again. Now let me clean my stamp. Let's see, here it is. So I'm gonna use my simple chamois. All right, clean that off. And now I'm gonna do it in Calypso Coral. And then while I'm at it, we're gonna do the banner in Calypso Coral, okay? And then I can close this up, and I'm done with that. And now you can use the present die to cut both of these out. Now the banner, okay, so these get cut out with the die. This banner, you have to fussy cut, okay? This is Calypso Coral, Laura. So Calypso Coral and Coastal Cabana. Great question. So I'm fussy cutting around this little banner, okay? And just gonna go up like that. And you're just cutting these little triangles. It's actually really easy to do. Okay, no die for this one, unfortunately. Okay, and you don't have to cut out the banner. I mean, you can just stamp it right on the treat holder, and then you wouldn't have to do this. Oh, but I like doing this. All right, and then one more. You just want to be careful that you don't cut all the way through. And I just did. Sorry about that, I scared myself. So you don't want to cut all the way through, ladies, okay? Don't want to do that. All right. And then one more. And you're like, Tammy, I will never do that. Not happening. Okay. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use Tombow glue. And let me bring the sample back in. There's the sample. Okay, and whoops, I'm just using a little Tombow. Hang on one second. I know I'm kind of zoomed in there, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it about right there. And since I use Tombow, I can move it a little bit. All right, so with the Tombow, you're just using a little bit. All right. All right, and then I'm going to pick it up with the putty. There we go. And then I can actually still use it, and you can't even tell that I had to do that, okay? Now for your present, I've already taken the time to get these cut out for you. And what I did was, all right, so I've got my Coastal Cabana present, and then I'm just going to cut off the bow, and I can glue that right there, okay? So let's put a little bit of glue right there. Don't need much. All right. And put that on top. Give that a second to dry. Let me find my dimensionals. While I'm doing that, what have I done with them? They're floating around here somewhere. Oh, here they are. All right. And so I'm just going to put the dimensional right in the center, okay? Yes, Nancy, I was showing you what not to do. Absolutely. All right? So hopefully you learned a few things about the Little Treats bundle.